A good day to our lecturer, Madam Jessie. Today we're going to do practical task 1. Before we start our presentation, I would like to introduce my group mates. Darwin Abraj, myself, Jason Raj, and Kishan Rao. We were appointed as security auditor by IT Century Hyderabad. It is given that Metasploit 2 is the target mission to be audited. In this given lab, practical task 1, we are going to scan and retrieve information from a targeting system by using several tools. We are going to use OpenVAS and Nmap to scan a vulnerable machine that is going to be Metasploit 2. Before we enter into demonstration, I would like to give a short intro on Metasploit 2. Metasploit 2 is a vulnerable visual machine designed for target practice, expert testing, and general training. It is focused on vulnerabilities at the operating system and network service layers. It is our choice to practice vulnerabilities and scan them using OpenVAS and Nmap applications. So, before we start, we need to download and install Metasploit 2. So, in this given website, we have downloaded our Metasploit 2 application. So, once we download, we will get the file, and we just need to double click on that file. Once we double click on that file, we can see the interface on Linux, in VMware. So we need to power on the virtual machine. So it takes time to start the interface. First, we need to log in. So the login will be MSF admin, and the password will be the same, MSF admin. So once we enter into Metasploit 2, we need to give the first command. It's going to be if config. So why if config? We need to give command of if config to get the IP address of Metasploit 2. So as we can see, the INET address will be the IP address, which is going to be 192.168.158.141. So next part, we need to scan using OpenVAS. So I'm going to pass the next section to Kishan for the next procedure.
Thank you, Jason. So now we would like to run with OpenVAS. Thank you, Jason, for running the Metasploit 2 and getting us the INET address, that is the IP address. And what is OpenVAS? OpenVAS is a framework that allows us to report and scan system vulnerabilities. So we can get and we need to scan vulnerabilities and get and report about the system that we are going to scan. So let's, without wasting time, let's go into that. Into Green Boon Security Assist. What is this? This is OpenVAS. So as we have already put, the username is admin and the password is our password. So once we have signed in, we will direct to this admin page. So this is the dashboard, and in this dashboard there is a lot of things, but we are going to scan. So before that, we need to go to administration and go to feed status to check what is the status. Okay, so in this feed status, everything is in current. And why do you see this is 10 days old? Because normally GVMD data is not always updated. It is only sometimes. So you all can do this update through your command lines. Okay, so I have done this update hand before and you all can see it's all on current now. And let's go into the scan. So scan, we have to press task. So once we have already got our task here, you all can go to here and you all can see new task. So once you all press new task, this pop-up will come out. So in this pop-up, I'm going to name it as Metasploitable So this is just to have the name and what we are scanning to be very clear about it. And once we have done this, what is our scan target? So scan target, well, we can add new target. So from here, I also will name this as Metasploitable2, and through this host. Okay, what is our host? Our host is Metasploitable2. So we have to type in the IP address here. So let's check out the IP address. So the IP address is 192.168. Let me just 192.168. 150.141. 150.141. Sorry. 150.114. Okay. So once we have done this, we don't need to change anything else. Leave it as its settings and just let it save. And we have got our send target, that is Metasploitable2, and do not change anything here, just leave it as it is and press save. So once it is already saved, you can see here the name is Metasploitable2, status is new, there's no report because we haven't run it, and we can play to start it. Okay, there's a play button, we can run to start it. So let's run it, and it's requesting. It will take some time to start the scan. So now it's queued. Okay, now you all can see it's running. It might take some time. So what we will do without wasting any more time, we will go to Nmap scanning. So from here, I want to pass this. We will come back to OpenVAS and check what is the report at the last part. Now we will go to Nmap to check what is it all. So now I would like to pass to Darwin.
Okay, thank you, Kishan. Okay, Nmap is a professional open source tool, okay, which is used by other professionals around the world. Okay, it is to identify what devices are running on the system, discover hosts that are available, and the service they offer, and to also find open ports, which is really a vulnerability in a system, as the attackers could attack and come in and gain access, and to detect security risks as well. Okay, now let's jump into Kali Linux. Okay, go to the icon right there. Okay, type in Nmap. Nmap nowadays come with the installation of Kali Linux itself, so it won't be a problem when you don't need to install it external, as nowadays Kali Linux are coming with it in the system itself. So double click on it, and you would see there are many lines that stating the reasons out there. What are the lines you are going to use? Okay, right now we are going to scan with the IP address of Metasploitable2, which we done and find it in Metasploitable. So type in Nmap, and with the spacebar. After it, continue with the IP address of Metasploitable, which is 192.168. I think you use dash. Change it to 168.151. 150, yeah, 0.1141. Okay, click enter. Okay, this one shows what are the scan that runs in the system and what are the ports are in the state open and services. For an example, FTP for the port 21/TCP, it states open and so on. As you can see, domain, HTTP, and all those are open, which is more vulnerable because an attacker could just come in and attack and reverse them and take over the system as well for Metasploitable, and they can even shut down and gain access and so on. So Metasploitable2 is really vulnerable out there. So right now, Kishan help me to type in Nmap. space dash p. Okay, space. Okay, let's put in like port number. For an example, let's go for 445. Space. Okay, IP address followed by. Okay, as you can see, this command is just for scan specified ports. Right now, we have scanned the port of 445/TCP. The state is open and service is Microsoft-DS as per same like the above. This one is just specific. Okay, right now let's going to with Nmap dash capital A. Okay, followed by IP address. One four. Okay, it takes a bit longer time compared to others as this command shows that enable OS detection, version detection, script scanning, and frame root as well. So it requires a really long time, a bit compared to others because it has more information out there. Okay, as you can see, there are tons and tons of information just like undergoing script scan, and they say like 21 TCP is open for FTP version right there and connected type and so on. Many informations out there together with program version and service like RPC bind and so on. So these are the information you can get with dash A together with Nmap and IP address command itself. So let's now jump into Nmap dash SV. S is small letter, V is capital letter, followed by IP address. Okay, these would showcase the open ports to determine service and their version. It also takes a little bit of time. Okay, as you can see, for the above part, when I'm putting Nmap IP address, it doesn't show version. What is the version? So right now we are getting what's the version is running on Metasploit. So for an example, for the port 21/TCP, right? We were using VSFTPD 2.3.4. So we get to know what's the version itself. The version might have other vulnerability which we can track the how to get into the version, because older versions tend to have more vulnerabilities, right? So that's how we going to get access and so on stuff. And you can see about Linux telnet.d postfix and other Samba and more MySQL and so on. Let's say you are keying in database and so on, we can reverse shell and take over and see what's the database out there, because the operating system itself it's full of vulnerabilities because the state is all open out there. So right now let's move on to next, which is next command nmap space dash vv, which is small letters, a which is capital letters, together with IP address. Small letters. Sorry for the trouble. Both are also small, right? Okay, for now it shows that discover open port on with the IP address itself and shows that completed connect scan and nmap scan report for, as well as you can see it shows that port state service and reason together right now. So the reason is the main thing which causes this command line to be more superior compared to others. So these are the commands that plays a major role in scanning Metasploitable 2, and Nmap is a great tool to scan out ports for scanning the vulnerabilities and seeing what's there to gain access for attackers, and we can even repair them in future. So this is a main great tool out there to be scanned for vulnerabilities. So now over to you, Kishan.
Okay, thank you, Darwin. So we will go back to our scanning. As I told y'all, it will take a very long time. Now only it has reached 14%. So we have to wait until it is done. Okay, so as y'all can see, the status is done. So everything is done. Y'all can see the severity is 10.0. That is high. So y'all want to see more detail on this? Yes, let's go to scan and reports. So in here, y'all can see high there is 25, medium there are 32, and low there are 5, and we have 90 logs basically. So once we press this, and we can get more information on the scan and all those kind of details. And before that, so under the vulnerabilities, we can see what were the names of the vulnerabilities and how severe it is, and y'all can also get the statistics of it. And there are many more. See, we have got 120 out of 487 vulnerabilities. So there are more that we can go page by page, and we can see the severity reduces, and there are say a lot. So this shows that Metasploitable 2 is very easy for us to attack, and there are a lot of vulnerabilities, and the severity is, most of it is quite high. As we can see here, it's 23, so 19.2% is high. As the low one is 3.3% only. So there are a lot, and we can also get the results, what is the severity and more details on it, how many percents and all those kind of thing. And as Darwin have showed us also, based on the TCP and the port number and all those things, we can also check it here, and this we can get it in more details. So this is how we can basically get an overall report. As you all can see, it's very dangerous since the severity is very high, and this is the final report that we have come across using OpenVAS. So as you all can see, Metasploit is a very easy place for us to attack. So any attackers can easily attack it, or it can be easily attacked by anyone, because the vulnerabilities is high. As you all can see through Darwin's Nmap, they were all open, and through OpenVAS, you all can see there are so many vulnerabilities, and it's the status of it is very high. It's not low. The low is very minimum, and the high is very, the high and mediums are the major in this. So that's all from us. Thank you. See you all again.